Pattakos joins us now with a hot website, clevelandfrowns.com. He's an attorney by profession, but has been writing sports. And Peter, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
How did this all come about with you?
Well, I would say it happened pretty organically. Following in the storied tradition of the wheel, indoor plumbing, the steam engine, the internet changed everything. Back around 2005, if you wanted to read about Cleveland sports, you basically had two choices, which was the Plain Dealer and the Beacon Journal. With the advent of the internet and the technology that it brought about, anyone really, could take a shot at establishing some credibility on writing about some sports. So I just started throwing ideas out there, and some stuff stuck.
You've been doing it for a while now.
Since 2008.
And you mostly write Cleveland Frowns. You use the Browns colors, so you mostly write about the Browns.
Football's my favorite, but I'll touch on baseball and basketball as well.
Where are you from?
I'm from Akron. And I went to Revere High School.
And obviously, some of your most recent stories, zooming in on the Haslam ownership change, et cetera. So give us your thoughts on the Browns.
Well, first of all, I have to say I'm glad to see Mike Holmgren go. I know for a lot of my readers it'll seem like a broken record, and some people will groan when I say this. I think the biggest mistake this franchise has made, out of many mistakes, was not letting Eric Mangini continue with what he was working on in 2009 and 2010. And I think Holmgren's biggest mistake was letting go of him and not either stick with it, either let him go after the first year, or if you're going to give him the second year, then you got to give him a third and probably even a fourth. So I really miss Mangini myself.
A Mangini supporter and fan we have here in Peter. So you were anti-Holmgren from the moment he let Mangini go.
That would be fair to say, for sure. And I would say I was one of the very few in town, and certainly the only one who was writing about it consistently, to say, are you kidding me? We're going to do this again. We're going to go buy the priciest brand name available. We're going to buy a Band-Aid for a problem.
Your thoughts on Heckert and Shermer?
Who do you want me to start with? I'll start with Heckert. Hey, let me start with Shermer, which is just to say that he never should have been hired in the first place. I don't think he was ever qualified for that job. I think Mike came in with a lot of power, thanks to the unprecedented contract and power that he was handed, and wanted to give a job to his old buddy's nephew. His old buddy Fritz's nephew, and maybe he one day develops into a solid head coach, but I think it's pretty clear at this point that he's not there yet. As far as Heckert, I think he's brought in some good players. Mm-hmm. I think Mangini certainly could have used a guy like Heckert back in 2009. So what can you say? I think he's brought in some nice pieces.
Cavaliers start a week from tonight. Your thoughts on them?
I'll just say I'm with you on what you were saying before about I don't think a playoff spot really helps this team. You've got to bring in, a core of three guys that can be guys like LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, or Kevin Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, I guess, if you think Harden could be that good.
Well, Peter, if indeed you were able to trade or to lure free agents to Cleveland, that wouldn't be my opinion in making the playoffs as the 6th, 7th, or 8th seed here, which is feasible for the Cavs. When you have a coach like Scott, it's feasible. But we can't lure free agents here. That was obvious. We couldn't get them here when we had LeBron James.
I don't want to close the book on that idea yet, that Cleveland could be a place where if you get the right people in place, the right superstar, the right management team, and get them all working together and really be able to embody and show what Cleveland is all about, and what the best of Cleveland could be, and get that kind of culture here. And get the kind of guys, the kind of professionals who appreciate what it is about Cleveland that's good, that makes it different from a place like New York or Miami in a good way.
You're singing my song. You're singing my tune. There's no question about it. But name me the last big-name free agent that the Browns, the Indians, or the Cavs lured here.
Big name?
That's what you need. You got to have a superstar. You can't win the NBA championship without a superstar.
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's good. You'll do fine with your column, that's for sure. How about the Indians? Let's jump over to the Tribe.
Well, Bruce, again, my readers know well, and I call into some of the radio shows that on the local sports channels know really well that I basically tuned out Major League Baseball. I think at this point, when you have a league where one team can start with $200 million worth of world-class baseball players and compete against other teams that have $75 million worth of world-class baseball players, and where that's all supported by the revenue system. The Yankees are spending that money not because New York is a better city, but because they get a bigger TV contract.
Right.
So as much as you want to blame the Dolans for whatever, choosing to be an Indians fan is like entering a poker tournament, a last man standing poker tournament where other people in the tournament are going to start with 4 times as many chips as you. You got to be crazy to get yourself invested in something like that. So as much as I love baseball, I played baseball in high school and college. I play Lawyers League softball, which I'm thinking about to this day. I can't wait till next spring, but I can't let myself get wrapped up in the Indians anymore. It hurts too much. After you see those guys, you see Manny, you see Tomey, you see Bell, CeCe, then finally Cliff Lee and Santana go. You got to be crazy, Bruce.
Last man standing at the poker table. Very good. Peter Pattakos is with us. He's clevelandfrowns.com.